ESPN put out their rookie predictions. Let's look at them and talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's just dive into this. So ESPN, from their insiders, voted on a lot of different questions about the new rookie class, which is going to be an incredible class. And obviously, as a Jazz fan, I'm excited about Darryn Peterson. But let's see what ESPN had to say. So you can go read this on ESPN if you'd like, but we're going to go through it here together. The first question they ask: which top pick has the fastest path to becoming an NBA superstar? And according to the NBA insiders, Darryn Peterson, the number 2 pick, got the most votes. Next is AJ Dybantsa, Caleb Wilson, and Cameron Boozer. It's interesting that Boozer got just 1 vote. I think he's pretty much predicted to be the highest floor pot of all these players. But there's also a bit of a ceiling there with Cam Boozer with some of the lack of athleticism and the like. Darryn Peterson has superstar potential, and the NBA insiders at ESPN agree, which is exciting for Jazz fans with his mixture of skill, competitiveness, athleticism, and like Tim McMahon mentions here, that he has the best situation that he's landing in with the Utah Jazz. So if you're a Jazz fan, you've got to be excited about that. And it makes sense. He basically has his position carved out already and has high-level talent around him that should complement him really well. You could argue how well the pieces fit and things like that, but Darryn Peterson's role is absolutely ready-made. So nice for him. All right, next question. Who is most likely to make an All-NBA team first? Number 1, Cam Boozer. Number 2, Darryn Peterson. Tied for 3rd, AJ Dybantsa and Caleb Wilson with just 1 vote. So 7 votes for Cam Boozer to be the first to make All-NBA. 2nd, Darryn Peterson. I guess this makes sense. Cam Boozer is going to get the ball a lot, and I think a lot of people look at Cam Boozer as the most kind of ready-made. His game is very simple in what he does. He's extremely talented. The skill level is what makes him so good, and he should hit threes right away. He should make good passes. He should rebound the ball. He'll do all the things that he does extremely well, probably quicker than anyone else. The question is how much better does Cam Boozer get, right? And so I guess I kind of agree with this a little bit. He's going to get a ton of opportunity in Memphis. We know he's going to be probably really good pretty quickly. But then how much better does he get over time, right? Being so smart can only go so far if you're not able to defend and do certain things. So we'll see. Darryn Peterson, though, is number 2 on this. The fit is there. I think the skill level is there. I am excited about this, and I agree. I think Darryn Peterson, if there's a world where Darryn Peterson comes in and is just as electric as Cam Boozer, and because Peterson's game is so exciting, and because the Utah Jazz are going to be really good this year. Wait. Forgot to turn on the sign. There we go. Anyways, we're going to keep going. Because everything's ready-made, because the skill and athleticism and everything is there, there's a world where he's just as good as Cam Boozer to start the year, if not better. And with the talent around him, it may elevate him even more. And a winning team, a player like Darryn Peterson doing well on a winning team is probably going to get more votes than Cam Boozer on a losing team. So who knows? We shall see. Which lottery pick will be selected to an all-star team first? Tied for first, AJ Dybantsa, Darryn Peterson. 3, Cam Boozer. 4, Caleb Wilson. Darryn Peterson's doing really well in this draft, or whatever we're calling this article from ESPN. Basically, everyone agrees that Darryn Peterson's going to do well, and he may make an all-star team first. The advantage that Peterson has alongside AJ Dybantsa and these 4 players that are in this vaunted class is that they're coming in with hype. Players outside of this top 4 are going to have to build that hype. They're going to have to really play extremely well and show out in a big time way. Whereas Dybantsa, Peterson, some of this stuff with All-Star team, it sucks, but it's reality. It's a little bit of a popularity contest sometimes. And so Peterson and Dybantsa and these guys are coming in with that hype already. Utah's getting 6 national TV games, and a lot of it is just because of Darryn Peterson. So he's coming in with the hype. I agree. I think he has a chance to make an all-star team first. And you know what? The new players are always going to get a little bit of a boost because we are just excited by rookies and young players in the league. So good chance for Darryn Peterson to do that. Next question, which top rookie has the highest long-term ceiling? AJ Dybantsa at 1 with 6 votes, Darryn Peterson at 2 with 3, Caleb Wilson, and then Michael Brown Jr. We don't even see Cam Boozer in this one. This is interesting. Michael Brown, 0 votes for Cam Boozer in terms of long-term ceiling. I can't argue with it, and that's the thing that made me nervous about Cam Boozer is that he'll be very good, but the question is how much better does he get? Dybantsa at 1 in this probably makes sense just because you can't teach height. He is big and athletic, and if the tools and the physical tools, if the skill level ends up matching the physical tools, then that's what gives him such a high ceiling because he really is truly a physical marvel. And so if the 3-point shot comes along and all those different things, then AJ Dybantsa has a chance to be incredible. Darryn Peterson, though, coming in at number 2 because he has a high ceiling as well. And if he does what it looks like he may be able to do, then he also has an incredible ceiling and he can be up there with the top 5, top 10 in the NBA. Why not? If he does what it looks like he can do, there's no reason why he can't have an incredible ceiling as well. But I agree. I think Dybantsa, just because of the size, you can't teach 6'9", 6'10" with the highest vertical jump in the combine. It just makes sense. So I don't disagree. Next question, which lottery pick will have the biggest impact on winning this season? Cam Boozer comes at 1 with 5 votes. Darryn Peterson at number 2. Again, just 1-2 basically with Darryn Peterson in every question. 4 votes for Darryn Peterson. 3, AJ Dybantsa, and tied for 3rd, Morez Johnson, Yaxel Landeborg, and AJ Dybantsa with just 1 vote. So yet again, we see Darryn Peterson at the top. Cam Boozer will impact winning, and that makes sense. I mean, in Summer League, in Salt Lake Summer League, you saw just his impact. He hits the threes, he rebounds, he plays really well. He will punish bad teams, and he will punish undersized guys when he's in the league, but he won't get away with it against average and big time teams. And so I think I could see Cameron Boozer definitely lifting the floor of that Grizzlies team a little bit. I think he's going to get taken advantage of by like the elite teams. We'll see what happens with the middle class of the NBA against Cam Boozer. That will be really interesting. Does he dominate against the middle class, or does he flounder? We shall see. Darryn Peterson, his game is not dependent on overpowering people. It's skill, athleticism, and his competitiveness is going to show through. And I think his skill level is some of the best we've seen in a guard ever. Really, he has such high potential. It's crazy. And he did things in college that we didn't know if he could do, like hitting the threes. If he does that when he starts playing with this Jazz team, if he starts, like the big question a lot of people have now in the NBA season for Darryn Peterson is, what does he do as a playmaker, right? The big question from high school to college for Darryn Peterson was, well, how well does that 3-point shot look? Because he had some parts of his season in high school where the 3-point shot wasn't where he wanted it to be. And then at Kansas, he shot the ball incredibly well. In fact, having, in terms of just catch and shoot threes, a historically good shooting season. Now coming into the league, the Excel sheet guys and the box score watchers are all saying, well, his assist to turnover ratio. Well, he showed in one summer league game with 12 assists and like one turnover that he could do it. But does the playmaking show up against, the starters of the NBA? Does it show up again in the regular season? We shall see. The thing that Darryn Peterson has done every single year is proven doubters wrong, right? They said, can he do this? And then he does it. And then they say, well, I don't know if he can do this. And then he doesn't. We'll find out. But he also proved during Summer League that he could stay healthy, and he looked absolutely fine. He's had a full offseason to train and get better and get physically 100%. And we'll see what happens when he's on the floor with this Utah Jazz team. I honestly cannot wait. All right, next question. Who will prove to be the biggest draft steal? No Darryn Peterson on this one, so that is fine. Braden Burries, who looked really good in Summer League, and I think he will be solid for Milwaukee. Yaxel Landeborg, number 2. Darius Acuff for the Kings. Caleb Wilson at 4 for the Bulls. And Kingston Flemings for the Hawks. I don't have as much to weigh in on here. No Darryn Peterson, no AJ Dybantsa. In all honesty, I don't know why those guys wouldn't be considered here as well. Like, just because the number 2 pick is incredible doesn't mean he's a steal. He's not a steal, right? Still a steal. You still got him without having to give up any assets. I mean, the Jazz had to give up winning seasons, but they didn't have to give up assets, so why can't he be a steal as well? Anyways, I think Yaxel Landeborg looked really nice for the Golden State Warriors, and that's why he's a player that I wouldn't mind watching this season. Maybe he's someone that gets put up in trade talks this year, and I would not mind adding him to this Jazz core because he looks really good. But yeah, he looks solid. Acuff, the defense is bad. And honestly, the efficiency wasn't quite there, but he's going to get a lot of opportunities. We'll see if he's good with that. Braden Burries was a little bit more of kind of a role player that was like a role player plus in college. Does he become even more than that? Can he be kind of a go-to option? Can he be the second or third option on a winning team? We'll see. It'd be fun to watch. Next question. Which rookie landed in the best situation? Cameron Boozer. It's interesting. We don't see Darryn Peterson on here, even though in question 1, they talked about how good the situation was. Okay. Cameron Boozer, 3 votes for the Grizzlies. Morez Johnson with the Mavericks, 3 votes, playing next to Cooper Flagg. Adai Mara, that is a nice situation for Oklahoma City, although he had an up and down kind of summer league. A few things that looked good and a few things that make you a little worried if you're a Thunder fan. And then AJ Dybantsa at the Washington Wizards, which is interesting. I don't know why Darryn Peterson wouldn't show up here. That doesn't make sense, but whatever. Dybantsa is going to be sharing the floor with Trae Young and AD, and I don't know how often he's going to be getting the ball, because if I'm the Wizards, I want the ball in AJ Dybantsa's hands as much as possible, because the development curve starts now, and so you would think you would want to give him the ball. But Trae Young, not known for playing off ball very much. Cam Boozer, best situation, which I guess he's going to get the ball a lot. He's on a bad Memphis Grizzlies team with some interesting young talent like Edey and Coward, but I don't know. What's interesting for Darryn Peterson is that he is in a situation where he will both get lots of minutes and also be on a winning team. And that is usually a winning formula. So we'll see. Which of the top 4 picks will win an NBA championship first? And look who comes in at number 1. Darryn Peterson, number 2 pick, 5 votes. Cameron Boozer, 4 votes. Dybantsa and Wilson tied for 3rd with 2. So this one's exciting because, first off, the fact that just thinking about the Utah Jazz winning a championship makes me feel happy in my heart and in my soul. And that's something that makes me excited. And then you combine this with the fact that a lot of these insiders have predicted Darryn Peterson to have a high ceiling, potentially be all NBA, superstar, all-star, all these different things. There is a fairy tale ending here for the Jazz that you can kind of see, and I'm struggling not to go there because we haven't seen Peterson play yet during the regular season, but something tells me based off of what we saw in Summer League and what he showed when he is surrounded by the higher level talent like Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, Keontae George, Ace Bailey, the Jazz are going to have that floor just spaced out. And it looks like it's going to be fantastic. And I don't think people realize just how good this Jazz offense is going to be. I mean, even myself, I get scared to get the hot takes out there. But this Jazz offense, I'll be honest, if they're not top 10, I'm going to be surprised. I'll be shocked, honestly. They are going to be awesome. Now, there are elements that could drop that offensive rating. Darryn Peterson is going to turn the ball over. Just get ready, okay? It's going to happen. Rookies, especially rookie guards with the ball in their hands very often, they turn the ball over. You're learning the NBA game. You are playing 82 games. The most they've ever played is 32, right? With college, or 36, or whatever the college season is. And Peterson missed somewhere between 10 and 20 games because of injury. So there's going to be a level of exhaustion. There's going to be a level of learning curve just coming into the NBA floor, facing NBA talent and athleticism that just creates turnovers. It's going to happen. So we'll see how that goes. But Darryn Peterson is special. And something tells me that, with opposing teams having to, that's why I don't know why they're not saying that Darryn Peterson's in a great situation, because here's the thing. Keontae George has 3 years of experience under his belt and is primed for an incredible season. And yes, opposing teams may load up on Darryn Peterson, and that probably is something we see, them trying to take advantage of his inexperience, and he's going to have to learn to move the ball. So there's the turnover. You can just see the turnovers happening. But they're going to have to focus on Keontae George and Markkanen and Jaren Jackson. And it's just hard to not see opportunities for Darryn Peterson to get open shots, open opportunities. And he's the type of player that if you give him an opening, he's going to take advantage of it and do well. So great situation for Darryn Peterson. I love the fact that he has a chance to win an NBA championship. And the fact that Utah, yes, they traded Kessler, but they got the NBA currency in picks and swaps, and they have young players to actually make a big-time trade when the time is right, right? It's not this year probably, unless the Jazz are just spectacular like we didn't expect, which, there's a 1% chance that Utah's so good that they might want to go make a move, but they don't have to, but they can. That's the exciting part, is Utah has their own picks. They have the Lakers picks. They have Cavs and Wolves picks. They can go out and get that final piece, right? And they may not even need to. If Darryn Peterson turns into, a mixture of SGA and who knows, whatever he becomes. And if Keontae George takes a leap and is an all-star, and Lauri Markkanen plays at his all-star or borderline all-star level, and if Jaren Jackson can at least somewhat get into a defensive player of the year or all defensive team form, then this Jazz team may not even need to make a big time swing. But I wouldn't mind seeing them, and we haven't even talked about Ace Bailey yet. I wouldn't mind seeing them get some sort of center prospect, and they may just do that in the draft. I don't know. Utah's in such a good spot, guys, that this NBA championship, it's definitely, if this is a Goosebumps choose your own adventure book, one of the avenues is an NBA championship like never before. So we'll see. Okay, that's it. Guys, that was fun. Honestly, I kind of love doing these and kind of going over these different articles. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you to the All-Stars and the members. The season is coming. It's getting closer. I will talk to you next time.